So, hello ESA, hello everyone, and welcome to the run of Rise and Shine. Any percent I think, because I don't know about the donation incentive right now, but I think it's not get met for the 100%, so we'll go for a classical any percent.
Yeah.
I also
Sadly, it didn't got met.
and then get met, yeah. Anyways, that will be a classical any percent, and I have Polister with me. Hello, Polister.
Hello.
Who also run these games. It's indie games from super mega hyper dimensional or super hyper dimensional mega teams, I think. Very long names and or very awesome guys from Spain. So we are ready to go for these games. By the way, before the run start, this game is full of reference of every other video games in all of the times, like Game Boy, as you can see, Mario, of course, and so on and so on. So don't feel free to comment in the chat when you see some things about one of your favorite games, because there is a huge chance that will be in. So we're ready to go. You're ready with the timer, Polister?
Yep, I have the big red button right here.
Yeah, nice. So here we go in 3, 2, 1, go! And here we go. Oh yeah, sadly I led the game in French. Sorry about that. That's not a problem because we will not see a lot of dialogues in these games, to be honest. So we are in Game Earth, the Earth of the video games, and we are Shine, this tiny little boy, and you have to face an invasion of the next gen. The guys from the next gen who invade Game Earth. It's one of those guys, and sadly this legendary hero, I really don't know these names. It's something like Zelda, I think.
Yeah, some generic adventurer guy.
Yeah, and he gives you the magical oh damn it, I did a mistake anyway. The magical guns. That's the name. Come on, thank you. The name is Shine, and our two protagonists, we have to deal with all of these levels. It's something like, yeah, it's close from Metal Slug gameplay. Even if there is lots of puzzles in these games, as you will see. But first of all, I will do the very first skips, because one of the most common tools in these games, here we go, it's the death abuse. Here I touch an invisible checkpoint, just here. And that's allow me, here we go, to reset all of the placement of the drones that you just saw. And there we go for our very first update, homing bullets. And as you can see, homing, you want to explain it, Polister?
Homing bullets, basically, you shoot a bullet and it'll follow your cursor wherever it goes. If it reaches your cursor, it'll just dance around it a little bit. So basically, whenever you're ready to just fire it off at something in the distance, just hit the click button and it'll follow after you. So we can't shoot this car directly to drop it onto the turret, for example, because there's a little barrier in the way that's blocking it. So we need to go up and over with the radio control and get it fixed. So yeah, that's a rough guide on how that works.
I did tiny mistakes here because I want to. Sadly I missed the headshot on this guy. It's way more fast to have some headshot of against the guard. Anyway, that's not a big loss. The most important loss, of course, is the death. So we really have to be careful to don't die in these games. Even if the death is pretty fast, you are sent back to checkpoints. There is a lot of invisible checkpoints in these games, but to be honest, most of the things in these games is a one-hit death or two-hit death. So yeah, it's kind of like a die and retry, to be honest.
Yeah, basically the smaller bullets you will see, the red ones, will kill you in 2 hits. The big ones will kill you in 1. So you're probably better off being very careful around those.
Exactly. Oh damn, the mega badass is dead. This guy is.
Oh no.
I skipped the cutscene, but normally this guy is here to protect us. Because the legendary hero is dead, we have to bring back Shine to the king of Game Earth. So we have to make a way free from the castle. So we are in the second level. Here there is not a lot of fights. This is the only fight of these games, and most of these things in this level are puzzles with homing missiles. So we have to be careful to don't lose time here. Just hit the switch, and there we go.
Very good.
Some portal cubes everywhere. Yeah, as we said, this game is full of reference of lots of video games. This is why I really love these games, because it's remember me so many memories of my childhood.
Yeah. It doesn't really remind me a lot of childhood memories, but it definitely gives me just a big breadth of all things gaming, basically. So it's still pretty cool. You love to see it.
We go for the mini boss.
Yep, that's the mini boss before the first proper boss fight. Guy is gonna come
and that was the
in
first
from
mini
the
boss.
yeah, I didn't even have time to explain it, but yeah, there you go. Just empty your magazine on him, on the thruster, and he'll just drop down eventually.
Yeah.
And you can continue on your merry way.
Because you can go out of the elevator a little bit earlier with a dash, and by doing a double jump, because yeah, Rise have a double jump, you can go up on the mini boss before that's normally possible, and this is why you can immediately kill him without he can do anything. So
yeah, that's good.
Pretty good. And there we go for the first boss of the game, level 999.
Yes,
it's a pretty
it's
impressive boss. Difficult. Most of the deaths here are very punishing because you have to redo the boss entirely. There is many different patterns. That's random. This is the best pattern possible, the laser here. Very easy to dodge. I will intentionally take the very first hit because that's not a one-hit KO, so that's only two-hit KO, and I can shoot very easily during the boss doing this pattern, so... Okay, so that was phase one.
A little bit of extra damage before the next attack happens. So
this is the worst pattern possible, this one.
Yeah. Well, oof. Yeah, basically because you can no longer damage him, and you have to hit these weak points.
He's barely invincible. This one is also pretty annoying because most of my shoots are blocked during this, because I have to deal with those bullets. Okay, that's phase two.
Should probably mention at this point, the deeper in the boss fight you go, the harder each of these attacks gets. So these big lasers you saw at the first phase, originally there's only two of them. In this last phase there's three. When the boss becomes invulnerable, the amount of weak points per phase increases. And with this annoying cluster attack, in the third phase, it's only one-hit kill bullets.
Yeah, this is one of the most dangerous pattern because the angle of the bullet are all random. And it's a one-hit KO, so and the hitbox is pretty heavy. So missiles are never a problem because you can just do two double jumps and a pretty good timing, even if it's not a very hard timing to get, and you are always safe. So definitely a good boss, not a very bad RNG, so it's pretty great. Yeah. So. Some enemy talk about it's not good to have some big barrel like this close to them. There we go for the very first glitch of the games. This area, this area is have an issue at this level, so I can pass without fightings. That's pretty great.
Exactly. Yeah. Normally you want to get there we go. Sometimes if you get that little mosquito robot at the top left and hit the barrel next to him, he will actually not have a proper death animation. He will just freeze there. Yeah. So that's
not happening this year, but yeah, it's often happens. The movement of this mosquito drone is really bizarre. Sometimes he's do a thing, sometimes he's do not. What the? This is the second time that happens. This guy just freeze and dodge shoot at me. That's happened sometimes when I got a proper headshot at the very beginning of the fight. Wow, that's only the second time I saw that, yeah. That's not
In
never
the
happened
bonus
before. That's happened to me one time. But I was never able to reproduce it. Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Here we go for the
Now
zombies.
this is the zombie stage, and basically the key here is to shoot for the glowing red eyes. If they get too close, that's a instant death. So you gotta make sure to keep your distance. What Etienne did just there actually was skipped a small shooting section by just dashing in front of all the zombies, and now he's just in this auto-scroller section where he's waiting on these zombos to get killed.
There we go. So yeah, we can pre-shot all of the zombies here. That's pretty. Oh damn, that's pretty useful. I will not take the risk here. I will just wait. Normally I can go for a cycle a little bit faster here, but anyway.
In that section where the zombies are coming towards you, you can actually dash forward a cycle early, and if you jump at the right timing, you'll be able to skip the extra zombies. So
Exactly.
yeah, that is quite risky though, and I haven't been able to replicate it at all. So
there is also there is also light coming from your guns. That's the upgrade you get at the beginning of this tunnel, but from for all of the runner of Rise and Shines, there is no use to because we exactly know all of the zombies are scripted. We exactly know where zombies will come. So I become one of the biggest run killer of this runs, the grenade. This grenade, we will facing this mini bosses, the same mini bosses second times, and every coming is one of the most dangerous pattern of the runs.
yeah.
Okay, that's fine here.
The way this works is this big launcher comes in and hits the wall to your right. You have to make it fire 3 times so you can clear the wall. All the while, this giant robot from up top launches grenades at you, some of which are homing, so caution is to be exercised.
That was a pretty good man. Once again, I use an intentional death here.
Yes,
to recover, to don't have the cutscenes when the boss get transformed into a chicken by strange magicians. It's also a reference to another game, so that sadly we will not face it. Normally I'm on the good. There we go. I got the good cycle here. This is also pretty useful to make death abuse to have to set up the same cycles every times, especially for those drones.
Yeah. Get the headshot. Nice.
Once again, this one can only die because of a headshot. There is no other hitbox. So, incoming the fight against 3 drones. This fight can be an issue if I don't shoot at the good timing. Ah, damn it. Anyway, this will be a slow strat. There we go. There is a way to kill this 3rd drone way faster, but the angle is pretty precise. Once again, there is a puzzle here. This obelisk block you, is said only death shall pass, and you have to die intentionally here and wait until you are on the bottom of this, stage to pass.
I like to do that little optimization on that laser, where just before it hits you, you dash forward, so you actually gain a little bit of distance.
Yeah, I tried to did that, but unfortunately, I just walk into it. So that was my mistakes.
Yeah, there really isn't much of a visual cue there, so it's
it's fun. It's pretty difficult. Yeah, because we didn't speak about that, but this game is such a beauty. That's what's make me buy these games, to be honest.
Yeah,
it's made in Unity, and honestly, all of the character, everything is yeah, everything's so beautiful in these games. That's really cute games also in the cinematics, but we will skip all of them, except for the last one, of course.
Yes. Now we have found the Tree of Life. Its heart is corrupted by the evil robots, and we need to purify it by killing as many of them as possible. Once we fill up the meter on the heart, we shoot the weak point, and then we need to fire a grenade into a little hoop, as Etienne is about to do.
Too bad. I would like to be a little bit too fast, but anyway. I will do better the second phase. There is 3 phases to deal with. So once again,
Yeah. He tried to Kobe it before the basket even showed up.
yeah,
It's good if you get it. It doesn't really matter if you don't, but it's fine.
let's win times. So it's let's win a little bit of times. But
Yeah, so again, with every phase, you can see that it gets just a teeny tiny bit more difficult. There's new enemies coming in, and they're trying to sabotage you in the more elaborate ways.
the third phase is by far the worst because of the return of the mosquito.
Yeah, the mosquito
drone.
drone, and then all the robots that are up top on the ceiling, when they reach roughly the same horizontal location as you, they will parachute down. And if you've, I don't know, when they hit the ground, either because you didn't hit them and kill them, or because you shot the parachute and couldn't hit them afterwards, they launch a big firewall, which has quite a big range, and it's...
yeah, the range is not full screen, but it's very close enough. It's more than the half of the screen, so you really don't have to see any other drones touch the ground. It's really a disaster, because you have to do anything else that try to survive at this moment.
Yeah, basically. But that was very well handled, regardless.
There is a way to die in this cutscene. If you
Yeah.
dash too fast before the cutscenes, the big arm of the golems will kill you also. It's pretty crazy.
I learned that the hard way. Right before this, the first dialogue after the fight, you get a few frames of movement, which,
Seconds.
fatal. Right now, AEtienne is just dashing forwards. He doesn't have to do anything else. Just dash forwards and avoid all of their grenades, and he basically won't die.
No, not enough. I
Yeah,
should
and
try
now
my...
he's waiting to be killed by the grenades from the explosives, so he can skip this cutscene. But it seems
That's not happens correctly anyway. That's not a bad. That's not a big issue. That's just lose me some seconds. Zombie Gumbas. Zumbas, as you said.
Yes.
That's a pretty. I like this this name for Zombie Gumbas. Zumbas.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god! Oh, this one scared me so much. I was
Oh
close
my
to
god.
dash
Oh,
into
dear.
it.
Yeah.
And there we go for the boss.
While we were afraid of the zombie Goombas, AEtienne did a little optimization where if you open the hatches that the laser is meant to hit just before the first laser fires, you can keep the hatches open until a second laser hit and
Exactly.
get 2 of these weak spots hit on the same cycle and save a little bit of time like that. So
Yeah, and you are way more safe because you skip a cycles, as Polyester said, and you can also concentrate yourself about the zombie Gumbas spawns because they are all random. So you have to be really careful because the hitbox is pretty weird. You can also jump into the zombie Gumbas, but it's, first of all, that was I always doing jumps, but it's way easier to manage to destroy them with your guns. But the problem is zombies. We didn't speak about that, but we have 2 types of bullets: the normal bullets and the electric bullets. It's pretty simple. Electric bullets deal well with machines like drones and so on, and organic things like zombie or guard or normal guard can get killed by normal bullets and get paralyzed with electric bullets. So this is why for dealing with zombie Gumbas we have to use the normal bullets. So you have to switch between those 2 types of bullets during the phase with the dynamo we just saw earlier. By the way, this is a pretty long auto-scroller section, so if you have any donations, it's definitely the perfect moment to do so.
Oh, I definitely have. So hello people, and we have 2 donations. A $20 donation from, I hope I don't mess this up, from Japato. Probably French. Yeah.
This is the old guy in Pinocchio, in the Disney Pinocchio.
Geppetto.
Yeah.
Oh.
okay.
Learned something. Get us that 100%. Well, sadly that couldn't be met, but thank you for a generous donation. And another $10 from A Ray saying donating for that awesome Pokey PB and for one of my new favorite runners, Etienne. Go fast, everyone! Thank you very much for your generous donation. And just to remind you everything, we are collecting money for ESA and its affiliates. ESA Together is here to support all those great marathons, all those great organizations in those trying times with COVID-19. We are trying to survive, and yes, that's why we are doing this. That's why we're in here together. Please consider donating for many more awesome events like ESA and any others. Thank you. And back to you.
Thank you for the donation, for the 100% and all of the donation in general. That's honestly, we didn't speak about the 100%. 100% means to discover all of the secrets of these games. There is targets that you have to shoot at it, and also to discover all of the chests, because you can upgrade your guns by giving him some extra bullets or giving him one extra grenade. So there is I don't remember exactly how many targets there is, but at the end you should have 17 bullets and 2 grenades, and all of the targets win all of the levels. Now, during the ESS Summer 28, we also did a 100% Rise and Shine runs, if I'm right. Yeah, that was this.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
So incoming's one of the jungling things. Let's hope that should I have to put this. There we go. This orange on this switch.
Yeah. 4 shots will do it.
Yeah. Right now I'm doing. Oh damn! Sorry about that. Right now I'm doing free. Let's work with free in the good and gonna, and it's a little bit more consistent than my oldest strategy. So once again, I have to deal with some drones here. All I've scripted here, so I just have to pre-shot all of them like this. Do a grenade. There we go.
Yeah. And then
because I killed the guard just here out of the screens by doing it earlier. Just have to be careful, deal with 2 of them, so reload. You also have to reload when you have the time to do it, because it saves you times if you're doing that with movings. So this is another puzzle here. We also have sticky bombs. That's when you charge your bombs at the maximums, the bombs will get sticks to the wall. Come on, there we go. Oh no. There we go, that should be...
Yeah. Gotta get closer, and there you go. Again, there's quite a few obstacles there preventing you from hitting the switch from inside the elevator, so you gotta maneuver yourself accordingly.
So about the story itself, we just go into the palace of the king of Game Earth, and unfortunately he's dead. So we have to found the temple of the video games, the temple of the developer of the games, to find a way to beat the invasions by ourselves. So this is the instructions led by the king of this Earth, and we are now in NPC land. So of course, when there is a town NPC lands, we have to do some mini games, but there is only one of them that required for the 80%, when you have to do all of them for the 100%, for example. So we just have to speak to this guy. There we go.
Middle person.
Yeah. And it's time once again for Kobe things. Literally. So we have to make 21 points here, but even if we get 21 points, the minigames will only finish when the time go to 0. So there is nothing else to there is no way to win times here. So if there is over donations, that's definitely a great moment, because there is. I will try to get the highest score possible, but normally in a classical PB items, we just go for 21 like this, and we just do a break of 55 minutes by drinking or speaking with the chat and so on. So
we don't have any donations in the pipeline right now, but I hope they are coming because the next game after this is Wonder Boy, the Dragon's Trap, and there is actually a bit more there. It's the gender of the protagonist. Is it a boy or a girl? Maybe question we have all heard from Professor Oak. Are you a boy or a girl? So there are currently no donations there. If you want to decide, are you playing with a boy or girl? Donate towards that, and you can decide. Just one donation can change that.
Just get the boy from Pokemon Black. That should be great to have the girl this time. Kroll play the boy for.
Yeah, great idea.
I would probably try to donate for the girl. So we get the PCs of this NPC by doing this stuff. So now we are ready to go back into our boat, our flying boats, and we are already at the very last level of these games. And this is when we get two very interesting skips in this level. I'll probably let you speak, Polystar, because I will try to a little bit concentrate myself, because this one is probably one of the trickiest phase of and really punishing too. So.
In terms of resets, yeah, I would say the final boss and the very first sequence are the trickiest and the ones that cause the most resets in a run. So Etienne, what he does here is he's going to charge ahead, and then once the boss spawns, he's going to fire off 2 grenades at himself, and then die so he can skip this cutscene and the sequence that follows. Now here comes the boss. Unlike level 999, if you die here, you start from the very beginning of this boss fight, so that's not good. Similar to level 999, we have this bullet attack, but in the first phase, when you reach under half a health, he's going to start charging the death ray, but he's not going to make it, because we are faster. Now Etienne, what he tried to do there was try and get a phase skip. That was by shooting the villain at the far back before everything else. Thankfully,
that was close from these missiles.
Oh dear. Yeah, the missiles are usually the thing that gets me the most. That and the rolling balls. So he's gonna try that again.
Yes, I got it. Okay, so we got the phase skips. Whew.
Nice.
On the second try, so pretty great. There is no difference between the first try and the second try because you can do it only one times. Yeah. And in fact, that's better to get it second try because you skip the third phase. That's the worst phase possible.
Yeah.
That was pretty good run, to be honest. I don't know if it's a sub 70, it's a sub 27. Sub 27 is a pretty great times, to be honest. I was pretty happy.
Yeah. Plot twist: the big villain was your dad all along.
Oh my god!
He doesn't like you again.
That's damn. And because Rise have infinite response because of these guns, we just kill ourselves to get off of your restraints here. So ready for the timer?
Yep, get ready on time.
Polystar? Just have to
else will handle it now.
use the secret weapons of this world and time.
Yep. And basically that's it. You just put on a cheat engine and disable the villains.
Disable all of the villains because enemy is the enemy, of course. So we go into we are actually in the temple of the video games, or the big temple of this Earth. We found the PC of the developers and deactivate all of the enemies, and that's it.
Yeah.
So 2644. That's a pretty awesome times, to be honest.
Yeah. Very well done, dude.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Deathless runs, if I'm right. If we doesn't count all of the intentional death, I mean, because I
believe you actually you went deathless if we don't count the
the intentional ones, because as you said, we use checkpoint abuse in these runs, and there is one I didn't do. This is the zombie skips that we speak about. The most precise tricks. And one of the most inconsistent one that I didn't even try because I tried to manage it before the training of these runs, but I was so inconsistent to do it. I decided to not include it for this runs, but
Yeah, fair enough.
so yeah, that's a pretty cute games, to be honest. If you want something short, something intense, something with a gameplay, we really recommend you to play these games with a keyboard and mouse. To be honest, it's pretty.
Yeah.
It's pretty. You can also play it with a controller because this game is also on Switch. But honestly, with a keyboard and mouse, the game is easier and more. You can more appreciate the aimings. It's pretty difficult to aim with the sticks. It's my opinions.
Yeah.
I think all of the runner play keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, so do I, despite the fact that all other speedruns I do with controller. This one just feels better if you have the mouse to aim, so
Exactly.
I do recommend.
And we got an
Anyway.
extra life to recover our guns that sadly get destroyed during a cutscene. So there we go. Quick shout out to the developer of these games, the Super Mega Dimensional. Here we go. Super Awesome Hyper Dimensional Mega Teams. They are pretty active on Twitter, and so they make the promotion of this runs today. I'm pretty happy about that, and they are just finished today the demo of their next games. I'm pretty hyped for that. Thank you, Paul Lester, for the commentary of these games. That's always pretty good. And shoutouts, yeah, and shoutouts also to all of the different runner of these games: Tiny Player Ones, Sir Senju, Rexdan, Darfingers. I probably missed most of them. All of the different runner are the mirror of the reflect of these games because there comes from every different single speed games. FPS for Senju or Zelda for Darfingers or Battle Block Theater for Polister. And we have our tiny community, so
I think
that's it for us. Yeah, so
So Webby, if you have any last things to say, then go right ahead.
Of course, I always have something to say. Thank you very much, Etienne, for the run, Polestar for the commentary, and we actually have 2 donations.
Oh, nice!
Oh my
One
god.
$5 donation from Robin64 saying, always happy to support ESA. Good luck to all runners. Thank you very much. And another $5 from Pillar of Salt Shakers. And those $5 go towards Wonder Boy, the Dragon's Trap, no major skips, and for the girl incentive. So,
Yay.
if you want to change, if you want to see rather the boy or support more the girl choice, donate towards that. You still have the intermission that is coming up right now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
As mentioned, Wonder Boy is coming up next. And see ya after the intermission and the ad break. Bye.
Bye. See. Have a good marathon, guys.
Bye.